Boom. All right, what's going on, you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to be talking about God's money, good old gold and silver. So, as many of you know, I'm a huge fan of inflation hedge assets at the moment. In a world where governments are printing trillions of dollars in fiat currencies and continuing to print, those fiat currencies will ultimately become devalued, and investors around the world will want to keep their wealth safe in safe haven assets or inflation hedge assets like gold and silver. The reason we talk about Bitcoin so much here on the channel is because Bitcoin, in my opinion, is the fastest horse in the race in terms of inflation hedge assets. But gold is still worth $10 trillion. It's still this 10 times the size of Bitcoin, which is currently floating around 1 trillion. And it is still technically the king of inflation hedge assets. It's always going to be the legacy play, you guys. Gold has been around for thousands of years, for millennia. It has solidified itself as the king of inflation hedges to date. And I do still think that there is and always will be a place for gold in especially this current macroeconomic environment, all right? And I do still believe that all-time highs are ahead. I do believe that gold and silver will achieve all-time highs over the course of 2021. I will dive into the charts. Gold and silver over the past 6 months have been in a pretty long-term correction, but again, because governments are still printing trillions, because inflation is still a very real risk, I remain bullish on gold and silver. And again, you guys will understand why that is and what my price targets are as we dive into the charts. So let's get into it. Always stoked to talk about the shiny stuff with you guys. Shiny Play Friday in this case. So let's get into it. As always, we'll quickly go over each topic we're going to be discussing, and then we'll dive into each one individually. In front of us, you guys know the drill. Trading View, where we'll cover the 3 names today in this order going down the watch list. Kicking it off, of course, with the king, gold. So for all 3 of these, we are going to be focusing on the daily candles because gold and silver are very macro, fairly unexciting in all honesty at this point in time, but it can obviously, as we can see here, this stuff can go parabolic. It has the potential to go parabolic. We've seen a correction, and I do think this is kind of the calm before the storm for precious metals. I do think capital will start to flow back into plays like precious metals, obviously gold and silver, and so many gold and silver related stocks. And I'm still excited for more upside. So I do want to talk to you guys about my price targets, what needs to happen in order for me to become bullish short term and believe that gold will resume its rally. And so same thing with silver. So we will dive into the charts, talk price action, and talk some very optimistic price targets, which are going to be way up here as we zoom out again. You guys will understand these price targets once we actually zoom out and dive into these charts. So gold, of course, silver, the second in command, silver, and I'm actually more bullish on silver personally. Many of you guys know that if you've been following the channel. Been bullish on silver for the past 6 months or so. Unfortunately, it has seen a correction. Was very bullish on silver last year as we saw that rally up in silver, but silver is still at $25. Silver's all-time high was back in 2011 at $50. So I still believe that silver will see its time to shine. Truly, silver, in terms of the gold-silver ratio too, there's a lot of factors that lead me to believe that silver is a more exciting play from a potential return perspective than gold. It does look good on the charts. Again, both are in a correction, but I do still see upside potential for both. So we'll go into silver, and then after we cover the 2 OGs, the 2 big dogs, we will dive in to a sponsored review of a very cool gold and silver related company, exploration company by the name of Blue Lagoon Resources. Okay, thankfully, you guys, this is their second promotion, so we appreciate return supporters of the Waves family. Obviously, I've vetted them before. I was pumped when they reached back out and wanted me to do another review because I was already very comfortable with this company and think it's a very cool company, which you guys will go into understanding why that is. So Blue Lagoon Resources, you guys, again, we appreciate supporters of the Waves family, and I would appreciate it if you showed them some love and stuck around for that review. Blue Lagoon Resources, or ticker symbol BLAGF, the little D, as always, you guys, does mean it's an OTC or over-the-counter stock. So keep that in mind if you want to check it out for yourselves on the charts. So let's get into it. Again, charts in front of us. We will kick it off, though, with why gold, why now? So this is a beautiful part of the investor presentation, actually, of Blue Lagoon Resources. And I remember covering this, and I was like, this is a beautiful chart. I gotta revisit this again and kick off this video with this chart because it gives a perfect little presentation of why they're bullish on gold, and I completely agree with everything written here. So we will kick it off with this. Again, establish the fundamental argument for why gold, why now, in their words. And again, I couldn't have said it better myself. Kick it off with this. we'll go up and cover the rest of the investor presentation, not the entire thing, of course, but whatever I feel like is important to share with you guys. And then we'll take a quick look at the website, literally just take a look at the previous news, you guys. I love seeing this. February 24th, March 23rd, March 25th. I love to see consistently good news. The website is cool. You guys know I'm a goof for a good website. But as always, you guys, check this website out for yourself. Do your own research, do your own due diligence, and figure out if this company is right for you. Because again, just because this is my opinion, what I'm saying, I'm bullish on it. Always do your own research and make your own investment decisions. You guys know the deal there, okay? So that said, let's get into it and kick it off with this. Before we do though, I will ask you to please give the video a like if you do go on to gain value from it today, and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Again, show the sponsors some love. We really appreciate it, you guys. It really means a lot. And yeah, shout out to the Waves fam. Why gold? Why now? Debt to GDP ratio. Beautiful little pyramid right here. The global debt balloon grows bigger and bigger. Several countries' ability to pay back their debt has become questionable. Safety heaven in risky times. So I kept wanting to say safe haven. During market volatility, gold is a counterbalance to most other paper or digital investments. Decline in gold discoveries. Size does matter. Only brownfield and greenfield exploration replenishes reserves. Where are the new giant discoveries? No face of any leader on top. Gold is global, accepted everywhere on earth. It is the only currency in the world with no counter leader on top. Beyond disasters in history, people have invested in gold for thousands of years. A rare commodity that is a sign of wealth. All gold produced in history, mankind would not fill a multi-floored building. Physical gold demand is on a serious rise in recent years. Not only central banks, but private investors seek to buy gold. Popular gold mints indicate delivery waiting times. Okay, so we'll scroll to the top again, go over some of the things that I think is important here, but that is going to be after we dive into the charts of gold and silver. Okay, so gold and silver. Gold, again, you guys, has been in this like beginning. It started its correction. Like it went so ballistic, you guys, since that black swan. Again, it's crazy to see what gold and silver did from these March lows to its high. Like gold and silver crushed it over the summer to its high all the way back in August of over $2,000. That is gold's all-time high. But since then, gold has unfortunately been in a downtrend. So gold is in a pretty beautiful textbook descending channel. We like ascending channels a lot more around here, but descending channels are equally as fun too, because if it breaks out of the top side of this ascending channel, if it breaks resistance, then I think we're back off to the races for gold. You can see it happen. You said it happened quickly here. Saw a nice spike up back up in gold, but it quickly hopped back into the descending channel and resumed that channel. So gold, from a bullish perspective, did pretty much just bounce off the bottom side of this descending channel. Again, very strong line of support, very strong line of resistance. And just because, again, you guys, the dollar, I do believe the dollar is looking all right now, which is why some equities, assets, literally everything across the board that trades against the dollar, which is pretty much everything, is a little flat, a little stagnant, seeing a little bit of downside. The dollar is still being printed out the wazoo. It is still in an overall downtrend, and that trend will continue. And if that trend continues down for the dollar, it only makes sense that gold, which is again an inflation hedge, which means it'll likely do the opposite of the dollar, will likely increase in value. Okay. So if gold pretty much does break out of this descending channel, as always, you guys hop into the charts for yourself, draw these basic trend lines. If I can do it, you can definitely do it. Hop in here. If gold does break this line of resistance on the descending channel, on the overall downtrend, then I think we are in for a big move up. My top side price target for gold is going to be to test a very strong line of resistance on this multi-year uptrend. So beginning way back in June of 2019, again, high here, very strong line of resistance. We know this trend line is in play because that's the trend line that came in play back in August when gold set its new all-time high. If that comes into play, let's see if summer repeats itself. By the end of August, that could lead to just under $2,700 gold. And keep in mind, you guys, gold, silver, this is spot. Gold and silver, the beauty of precious metals is that they're 24-hour markets. So gold and silver spot, gold price target by the end of August 2021 is potentially going to be about $2,700. But keep in mind, it's all dependent on when gold decides to test this trend line. Could span it, could be later, could be sooner. Just keep that in mind, okay? So moving on to silver, the play I'm more bullish on. Keep in mind, you guys, a very bullish, just kind of fundamental, just right off the bat argument, excuse me, for silver is that its all-time high is $50, and that was back in 2011. 10 years later, can we repeat that all-time high? That would be a 2x from here, which is obviously very, very exciting. Granted, silver plays out correctly. So silver is in a descending, like a pretty textbook descending triangle pattern right now. You guys know I love bull flags, which is a parabolic move up followed by a descending triangle. And this, unfortunately, is not a bull flag. It is a descending triangle. So a lot of times descending triangles, unfortunately, are bearish patterns when not followed or when not preceded, by a parabolic move up. But in this market, you guys, in all honesty, I have seen a lot of descending triangles play to the upside. And given the current macroeconomic environment, again, just money, trillions of dollars of every fiat currency around the world being printed, I'm just bullish on silver. Gold-silver ratio, gold was at like way closer to its all-time high, of course, than silver is. Gold-silver ratio is historically in favor of silver at the moment, and I'm bullish on silver. So silver will actually resolve this triangle, which, so you guys keep an eye on this. By mid-April, silver will definitely resolve this descending triangle. Will it be to the upside? Will it be to the downside? I don't know, so keep an eye on it for yourself, you guys. But what I really want to see from silver, if we do break out to the upside, is for silver to break back into this beautiful ascending channel that we kicked off back in December of 2020, okay? So beautiful ascending channel right here, opposite of gold. Unfortunately, we did break below it. This is going to act as support. So if silver does break above this and then breaks above, say, by mid-April, above 28, like $28 just to play it safe. By the end of April, if we can break above like just $30, like if we can break $30 by April, by the end of April, by May, then I think it's very, very likely that we will ultimately come up to test this very, very strong trend line right here. Let's extend this out over the course of the summer. And let's do like, okay, so end of August, same as gold. If this comes into play, which I do think it will, that would lead us to a $42 silver. This big sign line, this flat sign line right here is silver's previous high, again, a decade ago back in 2011. I think it's so likely, you guys. Gold already did. Silver is actually a practical, like, it's not only safe haven, it's actually used in technology and stuff, which obviously tech is going to need silver, and that actually gives it a kind of a commodity, an actual use case, as opposed to gold. Again, gold, of course, has a use case, but silver actually has a practical, like, tech-enabled use case. So I think this will come into play if we can break above this, say just end of May, as we get into the summer, June. If we can break $40, I think we are on our way to set a new all-time high for silver using this strong trend line right here. And that could take us all the way up to almost a $60 silver. Let's just do end of August. If this trend line does come into play, again, not using absolute high, a little conservative to be honest, but if this does come into play by the end of August, September 1st, price target for silver is going to be just under $65. But again, new all-time high for silver would not surprise me at all over the course of 2021. So potentially very, very exciting, especially if maybe the crypto rally does slow down at that point. If that happens, I think we could see, again, capital start to flow into the legacy plays, legacy inflation hedges like gold and silver, like precious metals, okay? So moving on to Blue Lagoon, and I'll say, if you guys know the SpongeBob episode, like Goo Lagoon and SpongeBob, I always want to say Blue Lagoon like that. Sorry if you guys don't get that. That sounds super goofy. If not. But let's take a quick look at this website. So again, shout out to Blue Lagoon Resources. This is a very clean website. You guys know I love clean websites because it shows care for your product and care for and it's a good presentation for your investors. So latest news, just read through these top three, these recent three that happened like just over the course of the past month right here. And then we'll dive into the investor presentation. I'll read you guys a few things that I think are important to talk to you guys about. Primarily why Blue Lagoon and about their team. Because of course you want to bet on the team, not just the car. Or the driver, not just the car. There we go. Latest news, March 25th, just today. Blue Lagoon continues to discover mineralization hits 24.07 tons of gold and 127 tons silver over 3 meters on Boulder Vein Eastern Extension. March 23rd, just a couple days ago. Blue Lagoon accomplishes important milestone in mining permit amendment process, completes water treatment plant. Big, February 24th, just a month ago, Blue Lagoon announces results of soil sampling program identifies new zones for priority drilling. So that's that. Again, you guys, go check out the website for yourself. I will link the website along with the ticker symbols down below if you want to do your own research, which I highly, highly recommend you do. So, why Blue Lagoon Resources Company? I love the style of this investor presentation. Very well done, whoever designed this. Company, young dynamic corporation with excellent capital structure, recently acquired Metal Mountain Resources Inc. and its high-quality assets. Management, solid management with 100+ years of experience in publicly traded companies, proven ability to raise significant capital. Again, management, very, very important, especially when you're dealing with a small market cap company like this. Again, Blue Lagoon is currently sub $40 million market cap. You guys know I love small market cap companies because it takes less capital inflow to appreciate the individual share price. Invest in Canada, high quality asset portfolio located in British Columbia, globally one of the safest jurisdictions. Again, if you're dealing with some of this globally, this trade can get a little sketchy, so it's good to know that all the legal hurdles are cleared. Canada, very, very safe place. We all love our Canadians, nicest people on earth. So I just like that safety aspect of it from an investment perspective. Gold. If you have to invest in one commodity these days, this should be gold. Excellent macroeconomic and socio-political drivers. Flagship project, the Dome Mountain mine site, has seen $28 million spent last 12 years, as well as $40 million previously by Timmins and Noranda for mine permitting, infrastructure construction, underground development, plus exploration drilling. So corporate structure, again, you guys go check this out for yourself. It's all in their investor presentation. Capital structure, key events, cash on hand. This is important right here. They have $6 million in Canadian dollars cash on hand. That's very, very strong. Strong balance sheet, of course, is strong. Sub $100,000 in debt. obviously great. Capitalization, $40 million market cap, which is going to be, again, if you're talking about US dollars, it's going to be a little less than that. Okay, so management and directors, we're just going to read about Rana Vig. So Rana is the CEO and director. This guy's very experienced, so we'll check this out, read through this. But again, you guys, go in here for yourself and read through the directors. You always want to know about the team you're investing in because, again, driver, not just the car. 30 plus years of business experience, past president CEO of Musgrove Minerals and Continental Precious Minerals, or uranium. In 2018, he became the CEO of Lead Ventures and oversaw and executed the acquisition of $5 billion plus reverse takeover of Curaleaf Holdings, which raised $520 million, the largest Canadian cannabis financing in history. Also took the helm of Rockridge Resources, which he successfully restructured by acquiring through a reverse takeover the $2 billion plus Harvest Health and REC, which closed a $300 million financing and the third largest cannabis financing of 2018. In 2017, received the Canadian Senate 150th Anniversary Medal awarded to Canadians actively working to make Canada a better place to live. So Rana Vig, again, you guys look over the rest of these guys. Like they said, 100 plus years in public equity, public market experience. That's what you want. A veteran team, because they obviously, I would assume, I can't guarantee that, but you would assume with that much veteran experience, they would know how to properly execute and operate a company, all right? So Blue Lagoon, again, you guys go check this out for yourself. Read over the news, read over everything. I will, once again, link the link to their website down in the description. Let's closed out with a quick analysis of the stocks. So as you guys can see here, again, we are on the daily. Blue Lagoon Resources high back in December, early 2020, beginning of 2020 was around $1.50. They're currently sitting at 50 cents. And if gold sees new all-time highs, it only makes sense that Blue Lagoon Resources would probably see some highs as well. Okay, just again, if gold goes up, gold, silver go up, it makes sense that gold, silver related companies like miners, like exploration companies do well as well. Okay, so what I like to see here is volume, and we're seeing a nice price increase over the month of March, and we're seeing some volume here as well. So we are in somewhat of, you can't call this a wedge just because it started over here, but we're definitely in an uptrend right now, and I like to see that. So pretty much what I need to see to be short-term bullish on Blue Lagoon is for it to break out of this very, very obvious downtrend, the line of resistance on this very obvious downtrend. So again, touch point here beginning in October 2020 when the entire gold market started to pull back, all precious metals pulled back, touch point here, another touch point here. If we break above this, and we're getting pretty darn close. So again, just on that same note, if we break above this by mid-April, we pretty much have to go sideways because this is a pretty steep decline. If we can break just like 60, if we can break 60 cents, like, which would not be out of the realm of possibility, that would make me very, very short-term bullish. So again, that's a pretty significant price increase from here. Not very though. So if we can't, like, to be conservative, I'm saying 60 cents. But honestly, if we break this resistance, again, you guys, if you do want to keep an eye on this for yourself, draw the trend lines, just keep an eye on it for yourself. Because if we close a daily candle above this, that would flip me short-term bullish on this company. Again, very cool company fundamentally. Just because the technicals don't line up doesn't mean that I'm not bullish on the company overall. And again, I do still see all-time highs for both gold and silver by the end of 2021. So always consider your time horizons, guys. Always consider your risk appetite. And again, always make your own investment decisions. But we do appreciate, again, supporters of the Waves family. This is a we thing, not a me thing. So please show them some love, you guys. And yeah, it means a lot to them. So again, I'll link all their stuff down in the description, ticker symbols, website, whatnot. But again, appreciate you guys sticking around. If you are, it really means a lot to me and the sponsors as well. So shout out to Blue Lagoon. Shout out to the Waves family most of all. And until next time, you guys, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.